Greetings, my fellow Norsemen. If you have been on the internet lately, you must have heard of people like Tate, Jordan Peterson, and Joe Rogan. These people are placed in a category where everyone either hates or loves them because they always speak of what they believe to be true. One thing they and a few other celebrities have in common is that they are currently or have in the past been on the carnivore diet. Now, what is the carnivore diet, you may ask? The carnivore diet centers on consuming meat and animal products only. This diet is high in protein, fat, and ideally zero carbs. In recent years, the carnivore diet has been gaining popularity due to Paul Saladino, a leading author when it comes to this diet. Earlier in his life, Paul suffered from severe eczema which doctors could not cure. He tried various diets, including plant-based diets and the autoimmune protocol, to no avail before discovering the carnivore diet. In 2020, the diet gained traction when Saladino spoke about it on Joe Rogan's podcast. Joe Rogan later on tried the diet for a month in 2020. He ate only grass-fed beef, elk, and eggs. He did add amino acids and fish oil to supplement his micronutrients. At the end of the 30 days, he reported increased energy and fewer daily aches. He was extremely happy with the results and has since tried different variations of the diet with slight modifications.
You get all that shit out of your system and your body doesn't experience inflammation from your food.
Right.
And if you're eating food that, like, grass-fed beef, or in my case, elk, or I'm sure vegetables are not bad for you. I just did it to try to find did it to try to find out what it's like to only eat meat.
Right.
When you have no carbohydrates, one of the things that's most amazing is that there's no crashing. You would eat and you don't feel any different after you ate other than the fact that you don't feel hungry.
Right.
Like, you don't crash.
Right.
There's no ups and downs and peaks and valleys. My energy levels were amazing.
Really?
God,
How
extra.
quickly?
And Tate is problematic to say the least. He is a businessman and an influencer who became the most popular man in the world this past year. We are not going to go into everything about him, but are going to focus on the diet that he says has helped him tremendously.
And it's the carnivore diet. It is basically living on 85 to 90% of what you eat has to be meat. Two things changed. One, the first thing that changed is I started losing body fat. And the reason I was losing body fat is when you eat only meat diet, the first few days you're quite hungry because you have like this carbohydrate hunger. Once you get past that and your body changes, there's a whole bunch of science behind it that's boring, but
ketosis.
Yeah, your body doesn't burn glucose anymore, it burns ketones.
Exactly.
So I started losing body fat. So the first thing that happens is you eat a lot less, so you lose weight. And secondly is the way I feel is completely different.
You actually have more energy.
More energy. When you eat lots of food and you get that tired, lethargic, I want to lay down.
Because of the insulin.
That's all carbohydrates. That's all carbohydrates. And also, anyone here who suffers with depression, or anyone here who feels angry some days, or brain fog. Have you ever had those days where your brain feels like it's foggy, you're not thinking clearly, you're not sharp, That's all carbohydrates. When you remove carbohydrates, all of that goes away. Sure. The idea is the less carbs, the better. And then what you do is you eat lots of fatty meat, because the fat in the meat has all the vitamins. So you can actually change to 100% meat. You don't need fruit, vegetables, bread. You can go completely meat. If you eat fatty meat, the fat's going to have all the vitamins you need. So I eat lots of fatty meat, lots of fatty steak, a little bit of salad, and that's it. And it's changed my worldview, man.
And last but not least, we have Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, a clinical psychologist who also started his rise to fame by visiting Joe Rogan's podcast way back in 2016. Later on in 2018, he again visited the podcast and spoke about the carnivore diet and the benefits it had on him and his daughter.
Well, all of the motivation for this has been my experience with my daughter, because she has an unbelievably serious autoimmune disease. I just talked to her this morning.
What is it called?
Well, it's arthritis, but there's way more to it than that. But the arthritis was the major set of symptoms. She had 40 affected joints, and she had to have her hip replaced and her ankle replaced when she was 15 and 16. And so she basically hobbled around on 2 broken legs for 2 years in extreme agony. And that was just a tiny fraction of the whole set of problems. All of her autoimmune symptoms are gone, all of them. And she was also seriously depressed, like severely depressed, way worse than you think. She couldn't stay awake for more than about 6 hours without taking Ritalin, and she was dying. And so I went on a really low carb diet. Okay, so this is what happened. I had gastric reflux disorder, and I was snoring quite a lot. I stopped snoring the first week. I thought, what the hell? That's supposed to be associated with weight loss. Because I had gained some weight. I weighed about 212 pounds, and I'm about 6'1½", so that was my maximum weight. I stopped snoring, which was a great relief to Tammy. That just quit, and that's a big deal, right? Because if you snore, you have sleep apnea, and then you don't sleep right, and it's like not a good thing. Okay, next. I started waking up in the mornings. I'd never been able to wake up in the mornings my whole life. I always had to stumble to the shower, and then maybe I could wake up. It took me an hour, and I felt terrible. And so all of a sudden I woke up, and it was like, oh, look at that. I'm awake in the morning, and I'm clear-headed, and things aren't gloomy and horrible. It's like, well, isn't that weird? Then I lost 7 pounds the first month. I thought, 7 pounds, that's a lot in a month. Well, then I lost 7 pounds the next month. Then I lost 7 pounds the next month. I lost 7 pounds every month for 7 months. It's like I had to throw away all my clothes. I went back to the same weight that I was when I was 26. And my psoriasis disappeared. And I had floaters in my right eye, and they cleared up. Michaela posted a paper the other day. A doctor has successfully treated type 1 diabetes with a carnivore diet. Type 1, not type 2. So that's bloody impressive.
Now, what do you eat on the carnivore diet? What you eat on this diet depends on your personal preferences and tolerance, but always includes meat, organ meats, bone broth, and animal fats. Though animal products such as cheese, yogurt, and milk are permitted, the diet encourages only low lactose to keep this as much of a low-carb diet as possible. In general, eggs and dairy tend to be highly inflammatory for some people, so we don't recommend these to people trying this diet. Obviously, this diet is quite extreme and is not for everyone. But if you, for example, struggle with high blood sugar, gut problems, inflammation, heart problems, or weight loss, you really should give this a try. And just to be on the safe side, you really should do regular checkups with your doctors so nothing goes wrong. Remember, stay safe. Thanks for watching this video. If you found anything you heard here to be helpful, please let me know. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos to help you on your journey.